Launching a podcast for me was not even really about me. Me putting this effort in this new way, this new format, is for you. Content is valuable. And premise, I will be saying value a lot. Every episode is going to dive into why. Not just why I created this podcast. Why do you want to build a business? Why are we doing this? The questions I ask for my clients, people that I work with on projects. Why are you even listening? The question to why can mean so much to so many. We are always seeking for why. My journey of seeking why, of constantly developing my professional skill sets in marketing, in digital media, in social media, in communications, in culture, and storytelling. And I'm asking for those who want to be a part of this journey. You know, starting this podcast, I was thinking of, I need a script, I need a template, I need to read off some things. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. I think people can hear originality. They can hear how authentic you are simply by the power of your voice, by the power of how you pause, by the power of the energy you give off in the most dynamic way possible to hopefully infiltrate through your eardrums into your heart and soul and mind and put a spark in you of curiosity. My goal for you as a listener in this podcast experience I'm creating is for it to lead to something else. Inspire you to create, empower you to take your marketing by the horns and go forth and be successful. This podcast is combining my passion, my profession, my purpose, and my power. I help so many other people behind the scenes do what they do best, all through the power of captivating your audience, nurturing them, and then just telling your story. I'm going to be honest, I am not the best with words. I do not have a master's or a PhD in the English language, but I am all in to give you my best with each episode. The other thing I want to make it very clear that this podcast is going to be a little bit different. I don't want an hour podcast. I don't even want 30 minutes. I want to give you and provide you with very simplistic and digestible things that you can take away from and do something with it. Wrapped up in some of my analogies, wrapped up in quite a few acronyms. I'm pretty good at it. So, who am I? Who is Troy Sandidge? Why am I listening to him? I would ask you the same question, like, who are you? Where are you from? And why are you listening to me? Whether that's through a personal connection, whether that's because you've heard me speak before, or you search for social media or marketing or business, and you wanted to listen to a new fresh voice, get a new perspective. Well, hi, that's me. I created Find Troy simply because half the time people couldn't say my last name being Sandidge. The simpler people can find you, the better. As everyone knows, and if you don't know, now you do know, Twitter is my go-to platform of choice. So going into it, I wanted to create a username that would be the shortest as possible, but easy to remember. Unfortunately, @Troy was taken already. Well, I want people to find me, so find Troy. Here we are now. So thank you. You found me. Congratulations. My specialty is creating simplistic systems with amazing strategy, solid structure, that can give you the success you're looking for. If you don't know, I'm a marketing strategist, I'm a social media technician, I'm a dynamic speaker, I'm definitely a Twitter power user. Let me make something very clear to you. You have a voice and it matters. Your voice makes an impact every single day. Do not squander your voice. Many people start a podcast simply because it's something new to do. Maybe it's on their bucket list. Maybe they want sponsors and advertisers. They want to bring on the best guests in the biz. They want to really drive revenue and traffic and all those good things. And you know what? That'd be dope if I could do the same thing. But the reason I started this podcast is to provide very simplistic takeaways from my perspective that can help people who want to learn more about marketing, people who want to elevate their social media, people who want to really get a new perspective on how to grow their business, or even just learn something new within this realm that we call the digital world and all the subsets and layers that come underneath it. And I'm choosing to, through this podcast experience, provide you with my own take to empower, inspire, and push action. You know, everyone says, well, who wants to change the world? And I'm sure most people would say yes. And I want to take that to a very micro level. If I put in all this effort to make this podcast, and if one person who listens to each episode gets inspired, something triggers in their brain that makes them take an action that leads to a positive outcome within their business, then guess what? I changed the world. This podcast is dedicated to every single person who has impacted and influenced my life to now be the Troy that you're listening to right now. This introductory episode that a lot of people say you're supposed to do, let it be known as a pillar, as a cornerstone. I don't know what this is going to turn into. I don't know the journeys that we're going to go on together, me being the speaker and you being the listener. But here's what I do know. I know that in time, you will understand more about marketing, or at the very least get a new perspective on maybe how marketing works. We will explore the different social media platforms. We will explore the psychology and the science behind how you can utilize these digital channels to achieve outcomes that you hope to really obtain in your professional lives, whether as your business or as yourself. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about it. The only thing that I feel that I'm not sure about, you know, as a marketer, you're always thinking about, how do I get someone to stay tuned? How do I get someone to take the action to watch or listen or choose to do the next step? That's really like a big thing in marketing. Like, how do we get you to do the next step? You know what it all comes down to? It's telling a really good story. If they remember how you made them feel, if they can recall key points, if it's simple to understand and evokes an emotion, most people will be willing to do the next step. I'm asking you to continue this journey with me as I start creating more episodes under the iDigress podcast. And I have a lot of things in store for you, and maybe a few surprises. I think the thing is, I'm still discovering who I am. I don't take for granted anyone who chooses to listen to any episode for any length of time. It is because it's a very intimate experience, very personal, very private. There has to be some type of reason not only to choose to listen, but to continue to listen. No, I didn't tell everything. You can find that on Google by searching Troy Sandidge or find Troy. But I wanted to tell you enough that maybe, just maybe, it would compel you to listen on. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.